Mr. Speaker, today we begin to restore hope for the middle class.
Restoring hope for the middle class? Maybe the Trudeau government doesn't realize it, but Canada has the world's richest middle class. And besides, isn't the government and the welfare state designed to help the poor and the needy, those who have fallen through the cracks? Why is this government so concerned with helping the middle class? Oh right, because they're trying to bribe Canada's largest voting bloc with their own money.
Today, we begin a long-term plan that will use smart investments.
When he says investments, that's politician speak for spending your money on his pet projects.
Wise management of the nation's finances back in the 1990s restored Canada's fiscal health, giving us a debt-to-GDP ratio today that is by far the lowest of any G7 country.
And yet they're throwing that all away so they can rack up $100 billion in new debt over the next few years for absolutely no reason at all.
Mr. Speaker, our country has a long and proud history of big, bold, transformative public policies. Programs like universal health care, old age security, and the Canada Pension Plan. Now we proudly add the new Canada Child Benefit to that honourable list.
He's right about the policy being bold and innovative. The only problem for the Liberal government is that it isn't their policy. The child tax credit was brought in by the former Harper administration. The Liberals just changed the name and threw a little bit more money at the program.
Everyone knows Silicon Valley is the world's capital of digital technology. But I'll tell you, everyone in Silicon Valley knows that Canada's own Waterloo region is home to some of the most brilliant and innovative minds and companies in the world. This is a model that Canada can and must build on. We will invest, Mr. Speaker, $800 million over 4 years to support innovation networks and clusters designed to increase collaboration and create value through innovation.
There's no question that the University of Waterloo is a world-class engineering school. But the federal government throwing $800 million at it to try to create some kind of Silicon Valley North is an absolute pipe dream. Governments all over the world have tried to fund these so-called innovation clusters, and they repeatedly fail. That's because the economy doesn't grow from government handouts. It grows from private individuals and businesses taking on risks and innovating.
We know that newcomers are vital to the Canadian economy, and so our country, our government, will welcome 300,000 new permanent residents in 2016. We believe that families belong together. Family reunification contributes to the well-being of all Canadians by contributing to our collective wealth in both sociocultural and economic terms. By stepping up our efforts in this area, we anticipate 20,000 admissions under the Parent and Grandparent Program, bringing celebration and hope for thousands of Canadians who for too long have been living apart from their loved ones.
Those are 20,000 elderly seniors that will be admitted into Canada and start receiving our very generous welfare state and healthcare services without ever paying taxes in Canada and never having contributed to the Canadian economy. The previous Harper administration reoriented Canada's immigration system towards maximizing economic output. The Trudeau government is already undoing that.
As we do that work, we remember that while we may act in the present, we do not act for the present. We act for the decades and the years to come. We act for our children and for our children's children. We act so they may inherit a more prosperous and a more hopeful Canada.
That's a bit rich. From the guy who just announced that his government was saddling future taxpayers and young Canadians with hundreds of billions of dollars in future debt and ensuring that anyone my age or younger will never receive retirement benefits like the OAS. This budget represents a return to deficits, a return to wasteful spending, all funded by posterity, and to benefit the Trudeau Liberals and their favorite pet projects.